9/11. 9/11. You've heard me talk about it before, and as you probably know, it's the justification for everything in the United States. For the TSA, for the DHS expansion, for global war on terror, for the police state, for a surveillance state. 9/11 is the justification for this. George Bush and the neocons launched this war against Al-Qaeda, against the global war on terror, and in response to the 9/11 attacks. And Obama has continued it, don't forget that. Obama has continued it, and as much as it has already been documented, and you can go back and find the past 11 to 12 years of research showing that George Bush's administration lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq in order to start this global war on terror, in order to get us over there and expand Afghanistan and everywhere else where we are now. There's even more information coming out. A new book by NBC News and Newsweek investigative reporter Michael Isikoff, it says that this book includes a memo written by Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of Defense at that time, in 2001, November 2001, a month after 9/11, and a year and a quarter before the beginning of the Iraq War, asking questions on how they could justify the war. And included in this email, there's a statement with a question mark at the end of it that says, U.S. discovers Saddam connection to September 11th attack or to anthrax, where they're suggesting, Donald Rumsfeld of course suggesting, why don't we just pin this to Iraq and to Saddam Hussein, that'll get us in there. And so if you had any inkling of belief that this war was justified in any way, or if you know other people that do, because I don't want to just be preaching to the choir, if you already know this information, this is more proof, this is more verification of what we've been saying now for 10 plus years. The war on terror is based on a lie. It's based on false premise that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and was somehow tied to 9/11. So, get that one out. Now, in other 9/11, big 9/11 news, yes, you should know I'm a truther, whatever that means. I support a new investigation into 9/11. That's what that means. But there's a historic case coming up in London that is going to be taking place dealing with the BBC and their coverage of 9/11 last year. Now, you know, every year around the week of September 11th, the BBC, National Geographic, the History Channel, and all the mainstream media channels that parade around as if they're, really accurate and historic, they run their propaganda programs about why, for one, conspiracy theorists should be shunned, and how the official lie on 9/11 about 19 Muslims hijacking airplanes, how that still holds up. Last year, they played actually in September 2011, they played two documentaries. One was called 9/11 Conspiracy Road Trip, and the other is called 9/11 Conspiracy Files 10 Years On. After this report, and for the past 16 months, the BBC has been challenged by individuals in the UK about the accuracy of these claims. There have been formal complaints that were launched over the inaccuracy and the bias of these documentaries, which according to these activists are a breach of operating requirements of the BBC that they have through the Royal Charter and Agreement with the British public. This document requires that the BBC provide accurate information supported by facts and be impartial. And if you saw these programs, you know that they're full of shit. They're outright lies. I mean, this time they didn't even really try to get the propaganda to be airtight. They just put a bunch of stuff together. They got Charlie Veitch to come out and say that he was revoking his membership in the 9/11 Truth Movement, and he thought it was false, and that we've all been duped. Well, because of this, and the work of those at Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, which I understand is kind of a controversial organization even within the 9/11 Truth Movement, their work now, they are going to be able to present a 3-hour presentation in the United Kingdom, we find this in Horsham, on February 25th, about the inaccuracies in this film, and this will be in a court case. So for the first time, the architects and engineers will be able to bring their case to the public and to Horsham in the UK on why the BBC is completely false in their beliefs that 9/11 was carried out by 19 Muslims with box cutters. So will this make a difference? Will this make a big splash? It's a small town in the UK. Is anybody going to pay attention to it? Is the mainstream going to pay attention to it? Probably not. I mean, we have a situation where in the past, the MLK trial took place where they were able to find out that MLK did die as a result of a conspiracy, and that was in a small civil trial, and not many people know about this. So it seems like things like this are going to continue to happen. Make no mistake, this is a positive thing. This is a good thing when any piece of information, when we can get 9/11 to be talked about seriously in a courtroom. I mean, this is, in the past, any kind of court cases that have been presented, like with April Gallup, they've been thrown out. As they say that these court cases are a result of frivolous lawsuit and of delusion and things like that. So we'll see how the mainstream plays this out, or even if they talk about it. But in the meantime, we're going to keep the story alive. We're going to keep pushing. And also, on that note, be prepared, because in the next couple months, we're going to start pushing and preparing for 9/11/13. It's coming up in about 8 or 9 months or so, but it's never too early to start preparing. We're going to have the Off the Radar Film Festival again. There's going to be plenty of street action, and we're going to get as many big name actors as we can out there to try to drum up support. And we need your help. So if you still care about 9/11, start planning, start buying your tickets now, start printing out flyers, do local action in your city, and come to New York. If you can hear this, you are the resistance.